Hello and welcome to the Metroidvania Let's Play Week. My name is Professor Q.
And this is Callbreath from the Metroidvania Discord and subreddit.
Hi, this is Master. I'm also from there.
And have to apologize for whatever reason Calderoff's microphone is a little off, but we're just going to go ahead and move forward because I don't think there's anything we can do about it within the time frame. So we have a very special feature that Master has picked out for us this week. But we wanted to kind of wait for people to join the stream. So I just decided to put on some random footage of Super Daryl Deluxe. And apparently the second player on this footage has gotten up to do something. Or something. I don't know what he's doing over there. But I heard that this game is like The World Ends With You. Have either of you two played that?
I've played that.
Does this look like The World Ends With You to you? I guess it wouldn't. Until you see the gameplay, it probably wouldn't.
It's actually been so long since I played that game that I remember almost nothing about it.
So it's kind of a mashup between the brawler genre and like RPGs. It's very weird, this game. But essentially you equip attacks and then they all do crazy things, and then you have buttons that correspond to those attacks.
Interesting. By the way, is the stream working? Because it's offline for me. Now it just came back online.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, just making sure. Why is that guy blurred out in the bottom right? Is that something I did? Why is that blurred? Weird. So anyway, I just thought I'd put this up here for just a little bit until we get a couple people to join in on the stream. And once we're pretty confident that we have a lot of people in, we can get started on the main feature. So
it looks to be extremely short, so I don't want to start it and then finish it in the first 2 minutes of the stream. We don't really get going for a while.
So one of the things about this game, and one of the things that I personally didn't really care for on it, Sawmace over in our that's been on the site Discord really likes this game, and one of the things about it that is one of its main attractions is its sense of humor. And if the humor doesn't really mesh with you, then the gameplay that's left is kind of MMORPG-ish. And so you get a lot of quests that are like collect pieces of monsters. So what you see me doing here is I'm kind of scrolling through my journal of monsters and just looking to see who drops a specific item so I can finish a quest.
Interesting.
So
it looks stylish in a way.
It is. The art style and the I just kind of skipped ahead on the video there. The art style is really like good. Like every cutscene has great art, and it's not really animated per se, but it has this great comic book style to it. The general plot of the game is that the world's gone crazy, and like fictional universes and including different fictions of history have all kind of started creeping into the reality. And so that's why you saw that I was with, I think Caesar was in the background there, or maybe it was Napoleon. And this is the Hobbiton area. So you'll see the Hobbit holes coming up. And
so you say the gameplay isn't particularly good?
It's fine. it's very button mashy. And it's one of those game styles that you get a lot more out of leveling up than you do out of applying any kind of strategy. So if you kind of like that sort of thing, if you like the type of RPGs that you just kind of grind your way to win, this is actually a very good game for that. You'll see in the top right corner of the screen that I have all these different quests that you have to solve, and that's kind of what we're trying to do here. I think most of our playtime was spent just trying to figure out what to do with some of these quests.
guess that's more interesting than if you just knew where to go to beat the game right away.
You think that figuring out where quests are is more interesting than just going straight?
Yeah, in a game like this where you're grinding things, I feel like if it's pretty obvious what you're doing and there's only one secret,
I can agree with that.
The game a lot less interesting.
Part of the problem with this game, though, is that there's no logic. Because it's so nonsensical, it's so surreal, and that's also part of the appeal. But it's funny that you see my co-op buddy for most of this footage was just standing around because we're just trying to figure out where we're supposed to go at this point. Anyway, it's a very interesting game. I do recommend it. I think that playing it with a friend, if you have a friend who's willing to put up with kind of its shenanigans or enjoy the shenanigans, which my co-op buddy definitely did. I think he thought this game was funnier than I did. It has that very Far Side kind of absurdist humor to it. Like, for instance, you have Mozart here with his boombox playing his music loudly. I don't know. It's a type of humor that I think will only appeal to some certain types of people, and I did get a lot of chuckles out of it. I especially like the ending, but I don't know. It's an interesting game, so I just thought I'd share it. But it looks like we have 4 viewers now. I don't know if 2 of those are you and Cauldron.
One of those big.
Yeah, definitely are. Don't worry. We can do this surprise game right now if you'd like. Or we can continue talking about footage.
I think they'll probably talk a little bit more about Daryl Deluxe in the future. It's one of those games that I think kind of deserves a video review. It is very unique. I still haven't decided like whether it's a masterpiece or just insanity, but I definitely think that if anything that you see, like if you go and watch its trailer or if you listen to its theme song and you think any of it is funny, then you should probably get the game because it's definitely made for you then. What you see is what you get with the store page, I think, if it does play that theme song. If it doesn't, then look up the theme song and listen to it, and if you think the theme song is funny, then you definitely should get this game.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with a lot of games that are really focused on humor, is if the humor doesn't land, then it starts getting more grating than being positive.
Right. Yeah, any comedy game has that problem. And unless the gameplay holds up, which in this case it's fine. It's I think that a lot of it is carried on its humor, and if you enjoy the kind of grindy style of gameplay, as far as the Metroidvania aspect, you do get a double jump at some point, and that's pretty much the only like true ability gate that it has. That dash move that we keep doing can sometimes get you to certain platforms that you wouldn't otherwise be able to reach, but as far as required for progression, the double jump is the only one. So, anyway, we can move on to the other game that we're playing, which is not absurd in any way, shape, or form.
Sure.
If you want to get the stream started, I'll go ahead and get that calibrated, and then hopefully we can seamlessly switch over to that.
Yep, I'm streaming it on Discord at the moment.
Oh, you are currently doing it? Okay, so I can go ahead and close this, and it should automatically have it pulled up, and it looks like it doesn't, so let's go ahead and make sure we get that. And we want this popped out.
I just realized my filter on this emulator is set a bit aggressive, but oh well.
Okay, is this not working here? Sorry if you hear my kids in the background. There we go. And let me make sure it's on full screen mode so that we don't see our names on the side there. Alright, that should be coming through perfectly clear. Metroid 4. Did they actually say Metroid 4 on the introduction of Metroid Fusion?
Yeah. This is the regular intro. I haven't seen it in forever, actually.
I don't remember Metroid 4, so that's really interesting.
Yes, but we are not here for Metroid Fusion, you see. We're
Gosh,
here for something else entirely.
That makes other M even worse. So Samus goes to the fridge. Or Samus goes to the fridge, depending on who you're talking to. to get a glass of milk.
This is correct.
You have to press start smiley face.
I do. I don't remember what my buttons are actually down to. I haven't played Fusion in a while, so hopefully it doesn't require me to do anything strange.
It looks like you have a filter on that makes it look more like the Game Boy.
Yeah, I do. Hey Samus, can you go to the fridge and get me some milk? I know it's like 2 a.m., but God, I'm thirsty. Okay, guess that's what I'm doing.
So this is a ROM hack you can find on romhacking.net. I actually really like this filter. It's kind of neat. It kind of has an authenticity to it. In fact, I think this might make the horror aspect of the base game more interesting.
So do we think Adam can actually consume milk?
As a computer?
Yeah.
I don't know. So one of the things that we were noticing when we played through the Metroid series recently is that like everything in Metroid is kind of biotech. So maybe.
Get your energies here.
Yum, yum, yum,
energies. Yum yum yum.
You has the milk. It's freezing. Oh no. That's right, because in Metroid Fusion, you're weak to ice. You have to beat the Omega Metroid? Why is there's a graphical glitch issue?
Assuming it's intentional.
Could be. Does the milk give you a
I don't think so.
weapon? Oh, no, you can just shoot him in the chest. I think you can see its health bar. Okay, I have a feeling that most of this stream is going to be you doing that whole section over and over again to see how it can beat that boss.
Maybe. It doesn't seem like there's that much health. I just haven't, you know, played Fusion, and I don't know what the controls are or what's the optimal way to shoot things is.
So one of the subjects I thought might be good to talk about are the value of these kind of mods, and this is a great game to bring up that subject with.
Is this game art?
Oh boy, Metroid games is art. Technically, yes. Boy, you're a pro gamer on the first try. I like how
I die in like 3 hits from enemies. The first time I didn't get hit by the enemies in the first corridor, I think.
Yeah, you didn't. I think you got hit, but you just survived it. It's interesting that you can't absorb the viruses. I'm like being very quiet to make sure that I don't distract Master from... I love that just going to the fridge for Samus is this like ordeal.
Please distract me.
So I think that I like how it's doing the Windows sound when you pick up the energy. How's it going, Metroidvania? Also, hi, Silverint. I didn't say hi.
I don't know if I have any sort of missile or anything, because I don't think I have all my keys down. Assume I don't.
Yeah, I think you would see it at the top, like in Super Metroid.
I think the missiles are always displayed, yeah. Seems like a pretty easy telegraph. He lifts his hand up and...
Prefer to just face tank it.
Well, you might be able to.
You can't.
No?
Clearly I can.
Doing very well. That was the whole ROM hack.
Wow.
You don't even have to bring the milk back.
Well, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time. Just kidding. That wasn't as satirical as I thought it would be.
Thank you so much for recommending this ROM hack. I sure enjoyed it.
Hey, it looked funny on the site. Oh gosh. So that's something I've noticed is that you either have like these really amazing extensive ROM hacks, or they're usually like really short, which makes sense. I mean, people like cut their teeth on game design on ROM hacking often, so it makes sense that you would have projects like this. But you never brought it back to Adam. That's such a cliffhanger. I want to know what happens.
Maybe the milk was frozen and it just explodes in the carton.
Maybe that was Adam. Maybe that was Adam and you were shooting the milk into him.
Maybe.
I like how the Super Mario Club bug tested this.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't touch the credits at all.
No, they actually got all these people back to do this.
And no, now 9000, you did not miss anything. Trust me on that. So I guess the plan is to go to the plan is to go back over to the randomizer and hopefully finish it up tonight.
Yes.
Unless you had another plan, Master.
No, that's my plan. We really need to finish it.
Okay. Let me make sure that nothing else happens here. Oh.
Did you beat it fast enough to get Super Samus?
I guess this is an easy way that you can see this CG in it. Oh, wait.
Oh my god.
Oh no, is she a cow? That's not good.
Wow. I'm so glad I stayed.
How did you not
ending screen?
How did you miss 91% of the items?
It's a good question.
So clear time 1 minute.
Disappointed it's just a cow and not cow Samus.
I think a cow Samus would almost be offensive. Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on over to the Super Metroid, which is actually what I put this stream as because I knew that you told me that was going to be short, so... Alright, is this working? Tested it earlier, it should be working. Okay, good. We're getting... So I actually had to come in here and load every save slot because it's been so long since we played to make sure that I remember which save state we were using. Do we have the space jump yet? We do?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so right now we're just trying to get items before we go to Mother Brain. Preferably the weapon upgrades so that we can make sure we have enough... it looks like we have plenty of ammo to fight Mother Brain with, but... I don't know, maybe we should just go fight Mother Brain. Did we actually kill Ridley already? Oh gosh.
Did we?
Okay, so the gravity suit does protect us against that. Can we break these things with the... Nope. Okay, we do have the bouncing ball, so I can just do this. So any thoughts on ROM hacks? I have completely gone the wrong direction here. Somehow I missed the missed my exit.
I think ROM hacks are very interesting.
So you're really into Doom mods.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
Same concept. Let's just go up this way. Oops.
But with modern Doom source ports, it can be more like just making a different game. Depends on how you go about it.
Now 9000 says Brutal Doom is legit.
Now 9000 is wrong.
I was trying to get you triggered there. It looked like fun to me. I haven't played it, so I can't really say, but...
Well, I'm really not a fan of that sort of conversion mod that doesn't add anything of value.
I don't know. Graphical upgrades are really interesting. I'm actually playing a mod of Final Fantasy VI. So I recently got a device that allows me to play like ROMs on a handheld device, which makes it possible for me to play. I don't have time to play otherwise, but I like to play them like while I'm trying to go to sleep or whatever. And did I ever get the X-ray goggles? I guess I haven't. And I've been playing a ROM hack of Final Fantasy VI that kind of redoes. If you've ever played Final Fantasy VI, it basically makes it so every character is more unique than in Final Fantasy VI. Like, you can only equip certain espers with certain characters, and then they kind of rebalanced everything to make choices more meaningful. And basically, what it ultimately ends up doing is eliminating all of the overpowered aspects of the original game. Like, there's no X magic or Genji Glib offering combo or anything like that. And nobody who hasn't played Final Fantasy VI knows anything what I'm talking about, but it's interesting to see just kind of a different take on game design as it applies to that game.
Take your word for it.
So now 9000 says that Brutal Doom does so much more than just make things more bloody.
My problem with a lot of gameplay modifying mods for Doom is that you're altering the balance of the game when you do that, and if you don't have like a tailored app for that, you're just making a not like you need maps specifically designed for a gameplay mod, for the gameplay mod to be balanced. And Brutal Doom, I mean, there aren't really great map sets for that. A lot of people will just use like the stock Doom levels, and some people will use them, but they just have a bunch of extra random enemies thrown in for some of the gameplay mods that just make you overpowered.
So it sounds like you just prefer the balance of the original game over what the
so it sounds like
people...
we just lost Cauldron.
Oh. Over what the Brutal Doom people had to offer is what it...
Well, I mean, I like conversion mods, but I really think they're best if the people who made the mod also made like levels to go with it. I've always liked the this guy's name is Crocomire, right?
Yeah, this is actually my favorite boss in the game, and unfortunately he doesn't exist in any other Metroid game. I think that they were going to put it... I heard that they were going to put him in Metroid Zero Mission, and then he got cut.
That's sad. I like him.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite boss in the game for multiple reasons. Probably not the best, like, gameplay-wise boss, but from a design standpoint and just the scenario standpoint, I like this boss a lot.
I like him, I mean, I don't really hate any of the bosses in this game, honestly.
So, something that's... I noticed something new every time I play this game, and like how he kind of gets melting as you fight him. Like almost like the heat is already affecting him, which I don't know if you know what happens at the end of this fight. He is a missile eater, though. Look at that.
Yeah, he is one sweaty boy.
I love that they got away with this on the Super Nintendo after censoring so many other things when they get localized.
Wow,
Now says Crocomire dies. How could he possibly come back? That would make sense. Oh, Crocomire. You will always
Imagine
be loved.
an alternate timeline where Crocomire is, he takes the place of Ridley.
Oh.
He's just in every single game.
He probably wouldn't be very good if, if they did that, but I do like Crocomire more than Ridley, mostly because I probably wouldn't like him as much if he wasn't as pervasive as Ridley. To be honest, Ridley's not my favorite. I don't know if that's a controversial opinion or not, but
Yeah, so Nal mentioned that there actually is a, I believe it's an official Brutal Doom campaign, which I've played. The maps aren't good. I judge mods on the level design more than I judge them on their gameplay modifiers, unless they're just super insane with their what they do for the gameplay. Even then, I still don't like playing gameplay modifiers, just like on levels that aren't designed for them.
I'm sure I'm probably missing hidden items. Don't know if that helps us. I don't think it does. I also never use those medallions when I play Link to the Past.
Does Bombos do?
It's like an AoE explosion effect. It's, I don't know. It doesn't come up often enough to justify wasting mana on it, in my opinion. And I think we want to just clear out all the debris here. Actually, I don't think we need to do that, now that I think about it, because we have the space jump already. So we'll just go through and space jump. No, you're supposed to launch pad your way off of that, like a ramp. Yeah, more super missiles are good, I guess. We have so many super missiles. We probably could just go fight Mother Brain at this point. I kind of wanted to at least get the charge shot.
I don't think we need it.
More super missiles, hooray. Okay, come on, come on. I guess we'll just go the slow way since I apparently can't get good right now. What? Okay, come on. Is there a hack that lets you use the other game's power-ups in Metroid? Like a Super Metroid hack that lets you put other powers from other games into Super Metroid? Here's the thing. Until Samus Returns, they didn't really innovate on new powers after Super Metroid.
There's like ice missiles and fusion.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts because it's really just you take the ice beam and the missiles and combine them together. They had the dispersal thing in Metroid Fusion. Also, your microphone sounds great now, Caldroth. What'd you do?
I switched back to my old one.
Oh, okay. Well,
That'll do it.
that sounds great.
Awesome.
Perfect. I think the Metroid Prime 2 possibly got the most innovative since Super Metroid came out. It seemed like ever since then they just kind of tried to duplicate what Super Metroid did, and of course AM2R did nothing with the like extra powers. All right, let's go kill Ridley.
I mean, hey, Prime 1 did a lot of different things, and Prime 3, well, the hyper mode gimmick. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a gimmick, but
Well, Prime 1 had a lot of the same like named abilities as like Super Metroid, but they did very different things.
yeah, I mean, I'd still say, you know, so Prime 2 has the light and dark themed stuff, I guess.
it's
Is
more
that
of
the
a theme
extent
thing,
of the
though.
new things?
Yeah, and also welcome Allison 8-bit. Prime 2 had that, and then they had like the Sonic Vision. I'm trying to think of what else it added. The fact that I can't remember it probably means it's not much.
So I'd say Prime 1 definitely did the most work because it, you know, translated things into 3D. Plus, it had all the, like the visor mechanics and the different beam types you could switch between.
It did have the ball form like dash ability and the half pipe detector.
Yeah.
I still think that's so funny. One of those ludonarrative dissonance things.
You didn't like Metroid Prime Pro Skater?
I thought it was great. Actually, that's one of my favorite things about Prime is how they did the physics like that. I do think it's funny that in the Prime series, like everything is activated by blowing up bombs inside them.
That is a little weird.
And yeah, it makes more sense to like the little interface where Samus puts her gun in it makes a little more sense because you know USB cables or whatever. But blowing up a bomb inside it just kind of feels weird.
It's a United Federation Army gun or something like that.
Hey, that's just how things work in the Metroid universe.
You have to get in your ball form and blow up. It's weird.
Well, it's in you're in lots of ruins and such. So maybe they anticipate that you will be a ball, and
that's
they
true.
don't want other people touching their stuff.
I guess.
Yeah, maybe Chozo's like that's just the thing Chozo do is turn into balls.
Turn into balls and just blow up in holes, and that's how they interface with their
That's how
technology.
they communicate by rolling into balls and exploding.
Deep Metroid lore tonight, guys. I wonder what they were thinking at Retro Studios when they just made that decision, though. Like,
The Fusion Hack had more characterization than other
what the heck? Probably. So the fact that Metroid Fusion calls itself Metroid 4 in the intro makes me angrier at Metroid Other M.
Those other M's supposed to be Metroid 5, or is it like 3.5?
I guess 3.5 is the best way to describe it. It just feels completely unnecessary.
What did other M call themselves for?
Can I go down? Is that what my problem is? It's funny how playing this like randomized like makes you forget all of the progression. I think what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to go through the screw attack room, but I think I can shortcut through here since we've already done that.
Wasn't there an entrance from Zelda like further down?
Yeah, there is. This is way easier when you have the screw attack. Although I just killed my momentum by hitting the wall just now. Looks like I didn't need it anyway.
You know how people claim that there was a sequel to Fusion in development?
Uh-huh.
I think that just turned out to be Other M.
Do you think so?
I mean, I don't know if the timeline thing fits, but wouldn't it make sense if they were trying to do like a Fusion Prime and it ended up just being Other M?
It could have been. I mean, I'm not saying that Other M's a bad idea, like having a game take place directly after Super Metroid. It's just that like Fusion already existed and it was just such a perfect sequel, like from a thematic and story progression standpoint, that it needed a lot more work to make Other M work. And I think among the things that they shouldn't have done is bring back Metroids, and probably shouldn't have brought back Ridley. But it was almost like they had to service the fan service there, or service the fans there. And I think we can go down.
Are you annoyed at all that they brought, or that they released Metroid Prime between, what is it, 1 and 2?
Kind of. Like, Metroid Prime 2 is completely harmless to any of the story in the timeline. Metroid Prime 3, I think, was a little bit too epic. But I don't know what else they're supposed to do. Like, you kind of want your third game in a trilogy to be a big epic climax, right?
I really, like, I don't really care much about how, like the timeline of everything. I mean, they're like.
I completely understand that position.
To the lore in their game, like, you're not supposed to pay attention to it. It's not particularly relevant. But then it makes sense that, you know, they want to construct a sort of ambiguous floating timeline zone in between their games, in which you can just do things.
Sure, and that's something that they kind of, in order to make more games, that's something they kind of do. And I can understand that argument. It's just, and I don't really have any problem with Metroid Prime taking place between Metroid 1 and Metroid 2, which is where it falls into the timeline. It does raise questions like why anybody's ever surprised about, oh look, it's the ice beam. Well, that's convenient. Now I just need the charge beam and then we're set. I need the charge beam and I need the wave beam.
Do you really need them?
It's helpful because it eliminates the need for ammo. I'm going to go ahead and drop a... I don't need to. I saved recently.
Yeah, you have 65 super missiles.
Yeah, but I can miss really quickly. Trust me.
I believe in you.
Believe in me that I can miss? Oops. I don't know why I veered off to the left there.
I believe that you know how to use save states, so if you use all of your missiles, you can just restart the fight.
I really hate these things. Okay. I don't know.
End up getting, like,
can you kill these things?
Okay, rainbow lasers, you know, spoilers.
These things are so annoying. I wish you could at least hit them with the screw attack. Come on, turn yellow.
Those guys are actually, they should be categorized as a boss. Because they're harder than most of them.
I think they're harder than Ridley. Oh, there we go, I got one. There we go. And just take advantage of your iframes from your screw attack and...
Are there really iframes when you're invincible the whole time?
Yes. They are frames in which you are invincible. That's the Mother Metroid strats right there. Okay. Let me go ahead and open this other door so I don't have to... Okay, that wasn't actually locked. Okay, this is the first time I've faced off with Ridley without the charge shot, so we'll see how this is... We'll see how this shakes out. First time I faced off with him, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever faced off with him without the charge shot.
What's the worst that could happen?
And I die a lot. I'll probably save state before his room, just to save time.
Those blue enemies, they remind me of Meta Knight from the Kirby games.
They do. Remind me of that. Okay, so this isn't quite the Ridley room yet. I think it's the next one. Should probably stop bathing in the lava.
Yeah, good idea.
I wonder what the like in-world differences between this lava and the lava that you can survive with the gravity beam.
I don't know. This is like acid
Really
lava.
hot lava.
It's acid lava.
Can't you go in acid too with the gravity suit?
Oops. Got it. 1, 2, get off me. 3, 4, 5. I have to hit him 35 times with super missiles, I think. Alright, now I've already lost count, so anybody counting at home. I got really good at really on the playthrough I did last year because I came in here with not very many missiles. And I hadn't picked up the plasma beam. So I had to use the spacer beam and just dodge and shoot. And it took forever, but I got there.
Sounds like fun.
Unfortunately, I apparently have lost that skill.
Well, you at least got a color change.
I actually don't know how many times I've hit him. Or her. Do we know Ridley's gender? I think they refer to him as a him. I don't know why we keep
I
coming
believe Ridley is male.
Man, you might actually die.
Yeah, I probably will. Especially if I fall in the lava. Oh, there I go. Oh, no.
If only you had that extra reserve tank, you might have.
Wow. That was very close. I'm glad. Look how many missiles I have. that was right there.
See, I told you could do it.
They don't give you any super missiles.
I get this. Hey, it's the Menorah book. That actually opens up quite a bit, so that's good.
How much more Zelda is there to go?
Unfortunately, too much. Like I said, I don't know if we're gonna beat both tonight, but I can definitely go beat Mother Brain tonight.
Can't we just beat Super Metroid and say the randomizer is complete?
I don't know. What do you think, viewers?
I think we need to 100% it.
Oh gosh, no. There are certain things that I have not done since I was a kid, and I will never, probably never do them again. Like that Meridia missile that you have to do the spark shine for. Or shine sparking, I don't remember the way that they call it. And now 9000 says we absolutely should do everything, so.
So does the clone of Ridley deserve to be punished for the original Ridley's actions?
That's a good question. That is a moral...
Does the Ridley clone have, like, the memories of the original Ridley?
Right, but even if he did, should he still be held responsible for what his clone did?
Well, if he didn't, then the answer would obviously be no, he shouldn't be held responsible.
Sure.
But...
If you do something terrible and you lose your memory of the incident, are you not responsible?
Also, Allison, I do agree that this is a very wonderful randomizer. But I mean, yeah, if you're a clone and you have the exact memories, but you're not technically the same person, are you still culpable for everything that your memories have done?
But what does that culpability even mean in this case? Like, does he owe Samus money for killing her parents?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, how do you even pay back on that one?
Yeah.
And yes,
so Ridley is like a general or whatever in the space pirate hierarchy. Then his clone. So instead of finding someone else, they just clone him, and then they make his clone the general again.
That's some serious nepotism.
Yeah. I think they find someone better for the job.
That was always the weirdest part of Metroid Prime 3 to me, is that, like, most of the time, these space pirates are really just monsters. But then they have a home planet, and they call it the Space Pirate Homeworld. I know I'm always stuck on that. But, like, you never really see them interacting like a military. Other than, like, you know, instances like in Metroid Zero Mission where they're, like, carrying the super bomb in a jar or whatever.
So if Ridley was genetically engineered to kill Samus's parents, he be responsible, or is that the fault of his creator?
If he was programmed to kill Samus's parents, is that what you said?
In a sense, yes.
So who's making the actual decision? Is Ridley capable of deciding to not murder her parents?
Yeah, it sounds like he's just a weapon of mass destruction at that point, right? Thousand says that he's genetically engineered for all sorts of things that he doesn't do. So Ballarov asks, who fixes Samus's ship every time it gets messed up? The answer is she gets a new ship like every game. Like she has a different... It gets blown up and completely in Metroid Zero mission, and I think she has a different ship. I think the only time she has the same ship is between Super Metroid and Metroid 2.
Yeah. In Fusion, she like passes out and drifts into an asteroid, and her ship explodes at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you ultimately take out of the base? I don't even remember.
Does she have ship insurance?
I don't think anyone would insure her.
The ship in Metroid Fusion is Adam and Samus.
Okay, surely the Galactic Federation like commissions a new ship or whatever, or it's like surely it's supplied. I don't know the right word for it.
That's what she spends all of her bounty money on, is just ship replacements.
So you know how she keeps losing her power-ups between missions? She probably has to sell them off.
That's true. Cover the cost of this shit.
Kind of like in Devil May Cry, like in the anime, they explain how like he loses all his devil arms between missions because he has to keep selling them.
So in the original Metroid, it's not like you start with upgrades. Therefore, so now I'll mention that she is Space Batman because she's got all this suit and upgrades and stuff. But I say no. She's just been collecting upgrades as she goes, and she's never bought any. And then she just loses them and finds more.
Yeah, like in Zero Mission, she loses her entire suit and then gets a new one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true.
She gets the whole
well, wait.
suit.
Yeah, it's just like bestowed upon her by the Chozo.
That's also when they established that her suit's more like a digital type thing, like in Other M.
I don't like that.
I mean, technically you could say it's kind of like that in... Did I already get this one? I think I already got that one. It's technically like that in Metroid Prime as well.
Out of the canon real quick.
What's that?
Can we just like establish the Metroid canon and have it not include Other M?
Oh.
I think what's canon doesn't matter until they start making more games, so you can have canon be whatever you want.
I'm perfectly fine ignoring that Other M exists right now. Although I'm not against it existing as long as it's better written.
I mean the canon for this stream.
Oh, sure.
I think people choose their own canon.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
So hey, we could
Other M does answer
spend
questions.
An episode where we just write a better Other M.
Yeah, that'd be a good episode. I definitely have ideas. Is that what we'll call it? Better M?
Oh yeah, is Metroid Prime Pinball canon?
I don't know. Is it? I don't even know what happens in that game.
Isn't it just like a remix of Prime? I think.
Oh gosh. Oh,
I played it. There's like no storyline in it. You're literally just like getting points.
That is what you expect, though, right?
Yeah. It's just pinball where you're Samus.
To be fair, I mean, you really can't expect anything other than that.
Yeah.
I gotta grab this save point before I die here. I am really badly hurt coming out of that Ridley fight. I need to make my way back to the spaceship before I go and take on another brain. I haven't missed anybody, right? We killed Pantoon. We killed Dragon. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
we're
you have all
good.
4.
We have all 4, so we could go fight Mother Brain now. But I'm gonna go back through Zelda so that I can kind of work my way.
Allison says, according to the Metroid Wiki, Prime is basically just a retelling of... Prime Pinball is just a retelling of Prime.
Okay. So that you heard it here, guys. If you want to skip Prime 1, then go to Prime Pinball, and then you can play Prime 2. Gosh, people get angry about Metroid Samus Returns and some of the things they do in that. I'm one of those people, by the way. But one of these days I'm going to stream Metroid Samus Returns so I can spoil it and then talk about it.
So would we call it Better M or another other M? Or just another M?
Alternative M.
Mother M.
Brother M.
I like Better M. Alright. We almost have all of our heart pieces on this. Okay, so we have a choice. We can go fight Mother Brain. Let's go fight Mother Brain. We don't have a choice anymore. Technically, we're on Ganon's castle on Zelda 2, so we're actually really close to both of them. It's just the Ganon's castle is just so much longer. Oh, actually, while we're here, let's go ahead and get those items that we can get with this book. Which, let me think. I'm trying to remember where they all are. There's one up on top of the mountain. And there's one over here. Which I think we have to go to the Dark World to get to. Don't bother him. So okay.
As the door closed, don't go in.
We're totally gonna do a stream where we rewrite other M. We probably shouldn't do it now because I think I need to think about it a little bit more. But I need to do it here. Is this it? On top of one of these hills. Let's see if I can just orient it real quick. Yeah, it's right there. So I need to go down. Possibly I need to be on the other side of this mountain. It's been that long since I've... Okay, so I do need to be on the other side of this mountain, I think. So we'll go to this... There's so many things. Other end.
We just rename all the characters so we don't infringe on our copyright.
So the best thing about Other M is that if you don't want to include it at all, it's very easy to just remove from the canon. I do think that it has there is some value in the game for what it can add to the canon. It does annoy me that they did just kind of, like Allison said, or was it Balrog that said it? I had to scroll up. That it was a cheap imitation of Metroid Fusion. It kind of is.
As they say, even crap can be used for fertilizer.
That's true. And it's actually very analogous. Alright, do I have to have the book equipped in order for this thing to give me stuff?
But the question is, are we just going to rewrite Other M to be better? Or are we going to just, like, do a completely different plot?
That's a good question, because I would just want to do a different plot.
Just write another Metroid game? That's a different stream. We could totally do that, but that's a different stream.
That's more like making a Metroid fan fiction as opposed to rewriting an existing story to be better. So I don't think we would do that.
I don't mind doing a Metroid fan fiction, but like what we would want from like a new Metroid game, like a sequel to Fusion or something, might be interesting.
Now we're doing a game that takes place after Fusion instead of before Fusion.
So I'm making the executive decision that we're going to do Zelda first because just because of the convenience, because we're closer to doing Zelda than we are to doing Metroid right now, so... As much fun as it would be to run around Metroid's world with the Hyper Beam, which is one of the privileges you get if you beat Metroid first, I think I'm going to go ahead and... Yeah, we could still do that.
So Allison asked about the Metroid Prime Hunter story and if it had any lasting significance. I do believe they referenced one of the hunters in... Was it Federation Force? Was it the ending of Samus Returns? I think it was referenced somewhere.
Oh, Earl?
And people theorize that the hunters could play a role in the new Prime game.
I was actually just about to ask that. Are the hunters that are in Metroid Prime Corruption, are they the same ones that are in Metroid Prime Hunters?
No, those are different dudes.
Those are different dudes?
I thought there were some that were the same still.
Really? I don't remember that. Like, the Prime 3 people are like Samus's associates, and then...
They were created so that they could be killed.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. And if you know anything about tropes, they just feel that way.
Hunters was just like random aliens.
Well, maybe to them, Samus is just a random alien.
Yeah.
So anyway, I could like make an outline for a future stream of what I think the other M was going for and kind of where it failed. And maybe how we could like take the ideas that were good and make a good game out of it. Frankly, like the things that bother me are really easy to remove too. Then there's the gameplay aspect that we could talk about. Alright, let's just go ahead and kill this dungeon. I'm not going to worry as much about getting all the treasures since I think we're pretty safe for beating the game now. So at this point, we're just trying to find our way up to the top. And honestly, I do not remember the last time I've done this, so I'm hoping that we can get there quickly, but I might get lost. We have, like, every Zelda item at this point. It's crazy.
The problem with rewriting Other M is that you have to know Other M, which means you have to watch it or play it.
Well,
I mean, I actually wouldn't mind playing through Other M again at some point. It's been a long time since I played it.
so you have played it?
Yeah,
So you
had it on the Wii.
I had the advantage of not having played it when it came out. And I think that knowing what was bad about it before I went into it definitely served to give me a bit of a bias there. Like,
yeah, I mean, I definitely wasn't some like I wasn't paying out like a pre-order and, you know, like, buying the game and being upset at it or anything. Like, it's I played it at that time, just around that time. I was young.
Yeah, I think I had GameFly and I rented it.
wow, so all of us have played it.
Yeah.
That's good. That makes us authorities, right?
Obviously.
If I could remember anything that happened in that game.
There's some parts that are pretty memorable, not in a good way.
Yeah.
I remember having to like point at the screen for specific events.
Oh gosh.
And you're like supposed to find something in the background.
Nobody talks about that. I did not know that going into the game. Oh, I'm missing the big key? Alright, well, I guess we're looking for the big key now. Would it make sense if they replaced Mother Brain with Sax? I don't know if that's... Sax is definitely a better villain.
But yeah, something I was thinking about earlier, people always say SAX, so I was going to go out of my way to say Sax, annoying people on the stream, but apparently you already say Sax, so...
Well, I mean, appropriately, it would probably be Samus X is what you would call her, but... Okay, does this open the door or does this make bombs fall? It makes bombs fall. Okay.
I remember being annoyed because I had to, there's like someone in a window or something, like point at this specific part of the screen.
Oh my gosh, that was awful. Like, that is in my opinion, that is the worst part of the game. Like, take away everything else about the game. That is the thing I hate the most.
Interesting that we both remember that being terrible.
And nobody else mentions it. Like, you have Gaming Brit, who did his whole tirade video on the thing, and he doesn't bring it up at all.
Yeah, like, I haven't seen anyone mention it either. Not that I go out of my way to look for other M content, but it is interesting that we seem to be the only ones.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all. Maybe they added it, like, shortly after the game came out.
They couldn't add it, though, because the Wii did not have patching.
Yeah.
Because the Wii was a very archaic console. Whoops. Much like many things that Nintendo does.
They added it to the newer versions of the disc.
That's possible.
Why would Nintendo need to patch something? They get everything right the first time.
Yeah.
But it wasn't made by Nintendo.
That's true. I am actually surprised that let me cling to that. Okay, have I gone to the room up north? Yes, I have. So right now we're looking for a key. I'm going to go ahead and... It looks like we've been in these rooms. Okay, so there's a room to the bottom right that I need to get to. And the darn reticle thing, which... What is the purpose of that? It's making it hard for me to see if there's a room connection. Is that the main room that I'm seeing? The first floor? That must be it. Alright, we need to get ourselves out of here then. This room looks like a waste.
Yeah, I have no idea who thought it was a good idea to give the people who made Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball the, like, feminist icon of Nintendo.
I don't know if that's what went wrong with it from what I've heard, though. So, okay, so there are a couple of Wii games that did have patching. I don't know how they pulled that off. I guess you have to have an SD card. Oh, come on. Right there. Need remote bombs or something. Let me make sure this key's not under here. I don't know where this is going to take me, but we're going to go this way anyway.
There's no going back now.
Alright, where are we? Okay, so... Alright, well... We're lost. This is why I said that the Zelda part was going to take a long time, more because I don't remember where everything is. I don't think that it does anything anymore. I think what happened was I found a Metroid item in here, and then I'm like, we're playing Super Metroid now, because I was tired of playing A Link to the Past. If I remember correctly, doing this wrong is actually really bad. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing right now, because I could just use the mirror to go back to the beginning, and I think I'm going to do that. Okay,
Oh, yeah, I remember you going through here, and then you had to go back because you had to get that bombable wall.
Maybe that's what it was? Okay, so I'm currently on this floor. So this is technically the second floor, and this is the first floor. Okay. So from here I need to go left, down, down. But I can't go down. How do I go down? Maybe that's where that path was taking me. Okay, I may have been going the right way just now. I just wasted a bunch of time. Okay, so this is just the opposite side. Yeah, I'm kind of a Link to the Past noob. Funny, because I had this game practically memorized as a kid. It's amazing how little you remember. when you get to
I
be
thought
an
you
adult.
said you remembered everything about this game.
Did I say that? I don't think I said that. I said I had it memorized as a kid.
Oh.
I don't think I said that I remember it now. Clearly I don't, as we are wandering right now. Just face tape that.
Not all who wander are lost.
But some who are
Yeah,
wonder
but
are
I
lost.
sure am. Those bombs need to go off faster. Because I'm an impatient person. Okay, let's see. Alright, we're in a save state when we get up to the teleporter room in case I mess it up. Abandon all hope, you who wander here. That's what I want to put on my epitaph. Just put that on my grave. Okay, yeah, so I wanted to get to that bomb wall, and I think that's where I found the Metroid item that we ultimately needed. Just stick to the right side and see where it takes us.
So are these just random teleports?
Random's not the word for it. They do correlate to teleporters on the opposite sides there.
Oh, you just have to have it memorized.
I think you just need to get to the bottom left one. Like, you can see both rooms, and they kind of correlate where the teleporters are going to take you. Let's get the arrow out. Make sure those guys don't push me anywhere. Oh. Wait, I want to see something in that room real quick. Okay, not likely there's a key at this room, but it could be. That's really what we're looking for right now, is either a small key or the big key, which I think the big key is based off of... okay, so this is the big room, so we just need to go to the right here. But the door is locked, so maybe I have to kill everything to open the door? Let's check this block first. Okay, so that's not it. Can we shoot over fences? The answer is yes. Good. Come on. Okay, that... What? What's going on there? Apparently I can't hit...
They're probably at a different elevation.
I think that's what it is, but where... How? That doesn't make sense. Okay, I didn't hear the door open, so that obviously wasn't the trigger. Isn't there something that... I think if you hit that fire thing... you can see the ground. So actually that Bombos thing we found will be helpful right now. I think. Let's find out.
You use the fire rod?
Well, I can't get a good angle on the fire rod because of the wall there.
Oh, you can't shoot through that wall.
I don't think so. Let's give it a shot. Oh, I guess I can. Okay, my Pegasus boots decided to just stop. It's gonna turn off soon, so I gotta hurry.
So you said we were closer to beating this game than Metroid?
When I said closer, I meant that we are in closer proximity to the dungeon than we were to getting into Zelda's. Okay, so this is... We have to drop down here. Did we do this already? I don't think we did this already.
Yeah. Well, the chest is open, so you've probably been here.
Oh, I can't break that. Come here. There we go. Mostly just getting him out of the way. Looks like I only have one option anyway. So the chest is there. Let's go ahead and jump down. I don't know if that respawns when you leave the dungeon and come back or not. Okay, did we... There's a bunch of treasure chests in here. Okay, maybe we have done all this. This is the problem with not playing this game for 3 months. So I heard about a speed run that was cheated, and they found out about it based on the pattern that these guys did. Like, that proved it was spliced.
Oh, that's interesting.
That something that like happens at the beginning of the game affects how Ganon summons his bats later in the game, and somebody figured this out, and then okay, yeah, we definitely been this way. Proved that he was a cheater.
I love when that happens. People just figure out absurd things about how the game is connected.
Okay, so very clearly we need to go through the door on the right. So we need to find out how to get through it.
So what item are you missing in Zelda?
Well, right now we're missing the big key to this dungeon.
Oh, I meant the suspicious hole in your inventory.
Oh, this? It's the invincibility rod.
It's pretty much the same as the cloak.
Can Nintendo make a Spore clone but with Metroids? Who's played Spore? Has anybody played Spore?
I have not.
I have actually not played Spore. I know how infamous it is.
I mean, can you make Metroids in Spore? So wouldn't Spore be a Spore with Metroids?
This is the truth. Okay. I'm really confused at where we can go at this point. So we went through the teleporter room. That got us in here. Yeah, the big chest. We can't go this way because the big key blocks off that room right there. Oh, the randomizer sometimes. So the only possibility I can think of is that the key is actually hidden underneath a... There's gotta be a way to open this door, but I don't know what else could trigger it. There's no buttons. We've killed all the enemies. This block doesn't do anything. I'm trying to think of how you get through this in the vanilla situation. That suggests to me that the only way to get in there is via a teleporter. So I guess we'll go back into the teleportation maze. Oh, I guess we're stuck here. Okay, well we can't go back there until we go around. So it's possible that there's... Can we blow up this pot somehow so I can see what's inside it?
Can I hammer hit it?
Oh, that's actually a good question. I can give that a shot. Does hammer break pots? Yes, it does, but I can't reach that far. Darn. Yeah, that'd be interesting if Nintendo did something like that. I think that would make people really angry unless they were like actively making Metroid games, though. The fact that they would turn it into a Metroid or into a life simulator instead of, you know, making more Metroid games.
I don't really think Metroids themselves are interesting enough to warrant just a game themed around them in that way.
Maybe not.
About like a horror game where it's kind of like Alien Isolation, where there's like Metroids going around and you're just a normal person trying to survive.
Well, no, how do you make a Metroid look menacing? And like, say this is a first or, you know, like an over-the-shoulder horror game, as many are.
I mean, they're pretty horrifying when they like turn things into dust.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, when they evolve, they get kind of scary.
I mean, okay, that's true. Just...
And when I say evolve, I mean Pokemon style.
I don't know, I'm just imagining, like, a baby Metroid in first person, and I'm just imagining, like, a giant blob floating there.
I think the problem with Metroids is that they've just been like fodder for so long that they're not menacing anymore just because you're that familiar with them and familiar with them as not being menacing.
People have been familiar with Xenomorphs since whenever Alien came out, and Alien Isolation is still super scary, so
yeah,
I don't know if I agree with that.
Do you murder Xenomorphs by the like 100? Well, I guess
yes.
like dozens.
Yes.
What game do you like murder that many Xenomorphs in?
Like any of the arcade games.
Oh, well, that's... Have we done this? We have to have done this because the room's blowing up. What is this room?
Probably, I haven't played Colonial Marines. Have you guys? I hear it's bad. But I think you shoot lots of Xenomorphs in that game.
Samus gets plot armor. Or, you know, literal armor is possible that the Chozo armor... So, I read on the wiki that the Chozo actually made the Metroids as a cure for the X-Parasite. Which I thought was an interesting tidbit. If you give that any weight. Okay, so I want to get to that room to the right. How do I get to the room to the right? I don't see any way of teleporting to that room. Unless there's like a way I could bomb through this wall.
So I think if you made a baby Metroid very erratic, it would become scary again, like a spider or something.
I think that they're scary in Metroids 1, 2, and 3, like the babies.
They are, but that's because it's
they're not pervasive. I think it was Metroid Prime that ruined Metroids.
Right, you wouldn't say they're scary in Prime.
No.
Well, I mean, okay, when it's in the dark and they kind of... They're there, it's a little spooky, I guess.
Corruption, they had one part where they finally like managed to get the Metroids to be kind of scary. Okay, I am really confused at where we can go at this point. I think we've explored this pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, if you're ambushed by anything in a dark room, though, I think you can make it scary.
Yeah, like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between jump scares and being ambushed in
Sure.
in Metroid Prime. Like, yeah, horror game where the Metroids are the main enemy. I mean, it could work. I can see it.
I like that we recreated the "Let Me In" meme.
Well, if we're gonna beat Zelda at all, I mean, we could go out and go beat Super Metroid before the time's up. In fact, we only have 10 minutes left, so I guess that's our best choice at this point. If we do a hard stop at 8:30.
We could also just give up and not complete anything because
that's what we do? What?
Yeah.
But look how close we are. This randomizer, man.
Well, the next time we play, we could beat both games.
I've heard somebody say that this is a very cursed seed, and I'm starting to agree with that more and more. No, I think we could go beat Super Metroid. We might go a little bit over time, but I think we got it.
True. But then the next time we play the randomizer, we're only playing Zelda. Imagine how boring that would be for everyone.
Then we can stop after Super Metroid. I'm okay with that.
So are the keys even randomized though? I thought they were.
They are actually.
Oh.
In fact, the randomizer can actually put the if like the big key isn't necessary to beat the dungeon, the algorithm can actually put the big key inside the big treasure chest. That's something I heard was possible. Alright, let's go back to my ship so I can get all our missiles back before trying to face by the brain. And then we'll try and do this. I still can't believe that they never found the charge shot. In fact, we kind of got shafted on Super Metroid stuff in general.
Super Metroid stuff was a slog to find, from what I could tell.
So the Metroids and Metroid Prime, I think the canon is that they are weaker Metroids. Like they're not the SR388 Metroids.
So we've got those. We've got Mocktroids from this game. Like there's so many Metroid knockoffs.
Right.
In Metroid,
which doesn't help their image of not being as scary.
Yeah, isn't Metroid Prime not a regular Metroid? It's like something completely different.
It's a what's the name of the planet in that game? Turian? Not Turian. Turian's where you fight by the brain.
Terran?
I don't remember the name of the planet for some reason.
Talon 4?
Talon, that's what it is. Sounds a little bit like Turian.
Yeah.
So a horror game where you're, let's say there's a swarm of small baby Metroids. That's, I feel like swarms of things aren't what horror games typically do.
What, the door's just
horror games
open now.
Usually have large menacing things.
That's interesting that they didn't. Wait a minute, could I have gone to Mother Brain this entire time? I don't think we ever actually looked in this room, now I think about it. I don't know if I should be like happy or upset about that. Okay, so we do have ice beams. The Metroid Swarm. Well,
I still think just a single Metroid for a normal person would be pretty like it would be scary.
It would be, but I'm imagining like an Alien Isolation type of game, and like replacing replacing the Xenomorph with a Metroid could kind of work, I guess. But I think it'd be a more unique game if you had many Metroids.
Just dragging him over here so I don't have to. How many bombs does it take? Come on. Speaking of Samus plot arbor, what is going on here? Why aren't you getting off me? What is this?
Strange.
What is going on? Get off me! Stupid Metroid. Gosh.
You're laughing like it's tickling you.
What the heck? Speaking of scary Metroids. Metroid Warriors. You know, why not? They got Warriors for everything else. Why not Metroid Warriors? Just shoot a super missile at it and be done with it. There. That was the most clingy Metroid I've ever met. Got attachment issues.
The baby's pretty clingy.
The baby's pretty clingy, but the baby at least knows when to let go.
You weren't drained on one yet.
Oh, that's true. Speaking of clones, technically all of these are clones. In fact, I think every Metroid you meet is a clone, other than the ones you meet on SR388. What would happen if people split in two and made identical versions of themselves when exposed to beta radiation? Do you think that like actors would like abuse that? Do you think beta radiation would like be a prime
I think militaries would abuse that.
Oh, for sure.
How do you guys feel about those jumpy enemies? They seem to appear in many of the Metroids.
They're usually pretty annoying because they give them way too much health.
Also, Environmental Station Alpha.
It had the large ones too.
Let's go. Let's do this. Let's see how close to the door I can get. I like how she lets go right then. It's funny. Or he, or I don't know. Metroids, do Metroids have genders? I guess you have queens.
Maybe they get gender when they reach queen.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're like drones or whatever. Slaughterhouses. Are you suggesting that if we could clone people that we'd all be cannibals? You know, I kind of forgot about this room. I went all the way back to the spaceship for basically no reason. I mean, I guess that Metroid could have killed me if I hadn't recharged my health, but... I have just a few less energy tanks than I feel comfortable with, especially going into this without a charge shot.
Don't worry, you don't need the charge shot.
I am going to save state once I get through the room. Oh gosh, this stupid eyeball door. Pervasive eyeball door.
You're just trying to use up all your missiles.
Yeah. Alright, there's not really any reason to come in here because we're just going to save state anyway, so I don't even know why I did it.
There's nothing wrong with saving.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just kind of a waste of time. Let's see, save game position. We'll go with number...
I actually don't really remember the layout of Turian in this game.
Whoops.
It's pretty linear, so you don't have to.
Am I using super missiles on this? I didn't even mean to do that. Dang it.
Wow.
Hopefully some of these Cheerios give me some super missiles. Is that something that everybody calls that, the Cheerios?
I think so.
I don't think I've ever called them Cheerios before.
Come on, go down.
What do you call them then?
It's a good question.
There we go. Okay, I thought I was stuck in the lava for a second there. Alright, just gonna save state real quick. In case I mess this up. Because without the charge shot, we're kind of screwed, so... Alright, here we go. Just empty all the regular missiles into them. Got it. You know, I think I usually use charge shots on Mother Rain, so it's actually kind of fun having this many missiles on her.
Charge shots were holding you back this whole time.
No, don't do it. Alright, all the missiles gone, so hopefully she's, there we go. Well, that was easy enough. Get him! Suck her brain out. Finally end this randomizer.
But are you going to save the animals?
Of course I am. I actually don't think I actually don't know what's going to happen after we kill Mother Brain. Because I'm pretty sure that you can still explore Super Metroid afterward, from what I was told. Speaking of plot armor, you watch how Mother Brain comes back from this.
You think that because Mother Brain is, you know, a brain, like, she'd be sensitive to damage?
She's an artificial intelligence, which is what we were talking about, how all the technology in Metroid is like biotech.
What's the point of the brain then? Why is it literally a brain?
Because it's biotech. How else would you build a computer other than to mimic a brain? If you're using biotech instead of, you know, metal and silicon.
Guess you're not even hitting the brain much in this fight, you're kind of just hitting her chin.
Mother chin. And there we go. After 8 months, we're finally done with the Super Metroid portion of this randomizer. So yeah, notice
the game's not over until it's over.
Notice that there's no timer.
Notice the planet. You can wander around everywhere, and the planet's just constantly exploding.
I wonder if that's how they do it. I don't know. I actually have no idea how they're gonna handle this.
That's terrible.
Now, I don't mind this level design because it's like the escape sequence and, you know, it kind of makes you panic. But otherwise, that switchback level design just drives me crazy. It serves a purpose here.
Yeah, there's just not a point to ever have it.
Well, like here, it's intentionally wasting your time.
Right. I mean, like normally.
Sure, sure.
A game that's not forcing you to escape from an explosion.
Right. Oh gosh, I played one that kind of mimicked the Super Metroid ending, but they basically let you go anywhere in the game's world and then didn't really telegraph where it was I was supposed to be heading to escape. So I'm like wandering around while everything was exploding, like, where am I supposed to go? Much easier if you block things off.
I think I played that one. I guess we're avoiding spoilers by saying which game it is.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to... Oh, the lava is rising. It is
Yeah,
rising.
Say, there is a specific game I wasn't expecting an escape sequence from, and I'm glad that it had it because it surprised me, though it really shouldn't have been surprising at all.
What is going on? It's like turning gray again. I don't remember this being so colorful.
I guess there's just some sort of connection between destroying mothers and planets exploding.
I wonder what game you could be possibly talking about now.
Oh. So in the original version of that game, because we're not spoiling anything by saying there was an original version, they didn't actually make you escape to the escape sequence. It was just kind of a cutscene.
Ah, you see, so it's another of those expectation things.
Subversion of expectation.
Further proof that this game is Super Metroid 2.
What happened to my super bombs? I didn't use that many super bombs. Did they get drained?
Yeah, I guess they drained them.
Anyway, you notice how things aren't exploding anymore.
Still gotta go to your ship.
I'm going to my ship right now, probably to heal myself. But this is really anticlimactic when you don't have the actual ending. But it is kind of cool that we get this laser beam. Like, could you go...
Like, hey, you're beating the game, have a laser.
Could you go to Mother Brain first and then... And then, where are my super bombs? This is annoying. Anyway, we'll go to the spaceship and we'll save, and that's where we'll call it for the night.
Can you unequip the hyper beam?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Like, what if you needed to use the ice beam to get somewhere?
Yep, you just saved now. That's a good question, actually. I'll take a look. Let's see if they hack that in there. So I've used the Game Genie before to get myself the Hyper Beam, and it never had the rainbow effect when I did that. Nope, we are stuck with only the Hyper Beam. So I guess don't beat Mother Brain if you don't have the space jump yet.
Does the hyper beam go through walls? Like, can you?
It does.
Okay, so you can access all the stuff that you needed the wave beam for now.
I don't think that there was... Oh, is there? Let me see.
Do you actually need anything else for Zelda? Doesn't
No,
seem
we
like
don't.
you do.
Just the big key. I don't know. The self-destruct timer just shows up out of nowhere, and that'd be funny.
You beat Ganon and then the self-destruct timer shows up.
That would be interesting.
You gotta race back to Metroid to escape in the ship.
Alright, well, I guess I'm just going to be studying dungeon maps for that dungeon that we're stuck on next time we play this.
When will be the next time?
I don't know. The next Let's Play evening, I guess.
4 weeks from now.
4 weeks from now. I'm mostly just trying to get close to the castle. I'll get past these rocks and then we'll stop. But we're so close, guys. We're so close to finishing this thing. This is a fun hack, by the way. If you ever have an opportunity to try this, it's fun to try. I think it has made me appreciate the level design of Super Metroid and dislike the level design of Link to the Past more. But it's interesting how versatile Super Metroid's level design is. That's one of the things that's taught me.
Well, Super Metroid is designed for all of the power-ups to be more, like, at least somewhat meaningful.
Right.
Whereas they decided to put rupees in the pool where they're supposed to be, like, completely missable.
Yeah, I feel like I would probably enjoy a straight Super Metroid randomizer versus this. Although, I kind of like the idea that you can warp around Super Metroid by going back to Zelda. That part's neat. So, I don't know.
Is there an
want
option?
Super Metroid to have war points?
Ruining
No.
it, jeez.
They're like tunnels through the Zelda world.
We've been over this.
Anyway, next week I think we'll be talking about. Well, we'll see what happens. We're thinking about getting some trailers, but we have to get permission for that. Other than that, I think we might be talking about games as art. But we'll see what we decide on. Next week will be a normal podcast week with some pre-recorded footage. So you can look forward to that. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.